Next up, we have I Can't Fix You featuring Crusher P by The Living Tombstone, featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding, and I was also told that this is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan song, so take for that what you will. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers, which, by the way, thank you for 7,000 on YouTube, very much appreciated. If we somehow hit 10,000 on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, on top of the other things, I will play a video game of the choice of the community. Artists, let's collaborate. I can provide guitars, Mongolian throat singing, the good old kind of thing, and we have a bunch of other stuff I have a spiel at the end of the video for that kind of stuff, so stick around for that. Otherwise, disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to read them in full. Let's go ahead and look at this in the meantime. Let's go. I Can't Fix You. Let's see. Okay, so we start with two elements, and Moonfruit, welcome today. No, don't worry, the bot is cross-platform, so you can request from YouTube. So we start with, of course, two main layers. One of them seems to be this music box-esque chime, and the other one is some strings that we have. That would be like your violins, violas, cellos, kind of like all playing a chord, while this chime is doing some arpeggios, which could be our motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence from which everything else comes from, and arpeggios being when you play a chord one note at a time. Let me just spell it out for you. I was trying to find where I had paint. Arpeggio. Right, so we have arpeggios, which very, very much are chords being played one at a time. So I did not test the piano, so this is a good time to do this. So here we have C major as a block chord, and here it is arpeggiated. And the cool thing is that it doesn't have to be the same way, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that this is the only way that you can arpeggiate a chord. You can change the order. You can go for more than one octave, which, it means that here, for example, this is the note C. This is also the note C. This is also the note C. Then they are being played in different octaves. They're called octaves because usually your scale is going to be 7 notes, and then the 8th one, whenever you come to the 8th note relative to any other note, it's going to be the same note as the octave. So we could have, as I said, an arpeggio simply being this. It could also be going all the way to the octave, or it could be several octaves. So you can really, really go in many, many different directions. And right now, another thing that is happening with these chords is something called voice leading. So voice leading, or, I think you can do it without the dash. Voice leading is the art of changing chords more economically. So when you play music, you have 3 components. You have melody, harmony, and rhythm. Melody is your individual horizontal lines of music, rhythm is your use of time, and harmony is by far the most complicated. What chords you're playing, what scales you're playing, what notes you're playing, what chords you can get out of your scales, what scales you can get out of your chords, and you can just continue and just putting more and more and more layers of extrapolation through that. Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata is absolutely brilliant for arpeggios, and Beethoven, like he makes such good use of arpeggios. Yes, the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. I know the first movement, and the first movement is just absolutely beautiful, right? So, just playing the arpeggios, very, very beautiful, in which would otherwise be a very boring melody. That's something that Beethoven does, by the way. He has incredibly boring melodies. His melodies are unbelievably boring. And the third movement is one of the more difficult pieces to play. For example, the melody right now that I just played. That is the melody, right? And yes, and Gunther, welcome today. How you doing? The hard way that is not meant to be used. There you go, Potato. There you go. So we have this, for example, another one. No, it's minor. You can play that with one finger. Like, you can just... It doesn't take that much. It's not the most special melody. This is the kind of thing that if you were to show that in a conservatory or in a music school, you would be laughed at by the teacher for making a melody that is way too simple. However, the Ode to Joy, which I think is his Ninth Symphony. However, what Beethoven does is that he uses everything else around him to make it an absolute masterpiece. For example, there's another one. I love this one. It's the second movement of one of his sonatas. That's it. But then he brings in the other notes, and it's just the sum of all parts, right? And then I forget the rest of the part. Anyway, I got sidetracked over there. The concept of voice leading. Concept of voice leading, as I said, harmony is the far more complicated one. And of course, part of harmony is your chord progression. Your chord progression is which chords you are playing at the moment, right? Like which chords you're playing, not just at the moment, but which ones, like the order of the chords that you're playing, the relationship between them, that kind of stuff. And these are usually determined by Roman numerals, but we're not gonna focus on that right now. Right now we're gonna focus, let's say we have the scale of C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Let's put 2 octaves of that. So C is the octave, E, F, G, A, and B. And then C. So the way it works is that your chords usually are going to be, the most common type of chord is the triad. The triad is 3 notes stacked vertically. And the way it usually works, you have your scale, you skip 1 note, you play, skip note, play. So let's say we have the chord of C major. Under this structure, we have C, we play C, we skip D, we play E, skip F, and then G, and we get C major. If we were to change over, let's do one of the more common ones, one of the more common progressions, which is going to be C major, A minor, D major, G major, which is going to be then, let me actually point the notes, right? So here we have C major, C, E, and G, followed by A minor, which usually would be A, C, and E. So A, C, and E, back to D major, D, F, and A, followed by G major, G, B, and D. So you can see how this is already moving the hand quite a bit. And if we were to play these in what is called root position, the way that they are the way that they are originally, we would have C, A, D, G. So that is quite a bit of ways to go around, and the way that voice leading works is that you apply a little bit of math in what is called the common denominators. You find the common denominators. So for example, C, E, and G for C major. Then we have A, C, and E for A minor, which means A minor and C major share C and E as the common notes. So you can just keep playing C and E, and then you just change from G to A. So instead of changing all 3 notes and making the big leap, you just have to play them different. You just have to move 1 note. Then from A, C, and E to D, F, and A, we share A, we just move D and F, we keep A, and we get D minor. Then G major. Then we go G, B, and D. We already have D. We switch F for G, and we switch A for B. And now we have voice leading into this. There are other types of chords that are like suspensions, extensions, that kind of stuff. We're not going to focus on that because that would complicate things way too much. So right now the idea here is that we go from here, from doing this, to this. And if you start arpeggiating, you can even make it a full melody, right? So we're having that with voice leading going on right now. That's the basics of voice leading, and then of course you can then add your bass to reflect more strongly the chord progression that you want, right? So we can have... And there you go, you can just... So yeah, your beer tells stories of your past, your present, and your future. Well, appreciate it. I appreciate it. Some track already was just... we are... Yeah, you got me sidetracked there with Beethoven, but let's continue. And then we have... it breaks down.
I've been trying for so long to sing you the right song, to show you something different every day, so you hear what I have to say.
Okay, so all the rant I just went, the whole point I just made, it's not entirely thrown out the window, but we take a very, very big 180. However, something that we have now, the chord progression I think is the same. So the chords that were being played over here, the music box and the strings, they are now being played on the guitar in the form of a riff. So a riff is going to be a motif that is then put through an ostinato. Ostinato just means that you're repeating something over and over, and then you play it on a guitar or a bass or a keyboard or something like that. Right, and then we have that, and of course we bring in the vocals singing some lyrics, which makes this an actual song. Now, the difference between a song versus a piece or a track or an instrumental is that a song has lyrics, a song has singing, and said singing and said lyrics are the driving force of the music, whereas a piece or a track or an instrumental, however you want to put it, those are driven by your motif. Those are driven by far more extrapolated ideas rather than just voice singing. All right, so of course we had the little intro. Structure-wise, we had the intro done by the music box and the strings. Now we have arrived in what I think is verse number 1. Most songs nowadays are going to be divided into, are going to have verses, they're going to have choruses. Verse is going to be lyrics over music. Chorus are going to be music over lyrics. What do I mean by that? Verses, you're going to hear them say a lot more words, while the chorus is going to be a lot more melodic, a lot more catchy. So, let's see where this goes.
Now we're here at a standstill. I wonder if you feel the kind of pain that puts your insides down. It's something I know all about. Shocking, ain't it?
Oh, that was really cool. That was really cool. So we had, of course, this really, really cool riff going on where the bass drum is playing when the guitar is playing the chords. Something that guitars do to prevent playing harmony openly is what is called a power chord. A power chord is a chord, it's a triad without the third. So if we go back to the concept we just did in the voice leading that we did, so it would be C major, the root, third would be the E, and then we have the fifth. Because we were playing C, skip D, which is the second, play E, skip F, which is the fourth, G. So C and G instead. Then it changes quite a bit, because the third is what determines whether or not a chord is major or minor. Major third makes a major chord. Minor third makes a minor chord. But if you have neither, you end up with, nowadays we call it a power chord. And these are very, very useful in things like rock, metal, that kind of things, those kind of genres, because it gives a lot more flexibility to the guitar in that sense. And of course also the way that it is played in guitar, playing thirds in guitar is a lot more difficult than in other instruments due to the structure of the guitar. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but basically it's a lot easier for a guitarist to play root and fifth rather than root, third, and fifth. Right, so it's a lot easier to play root, fifth, and octave rather than the other one. So we have this, and if we were to be doing the chord progression, in this case, you don't want the voice leading. You want to go... that kind of thing, and of course it's going to sound considerably better on the guitar rather than the piano because of how these instruments are built. The guitar strings are more fitted for that kind of that kind of thing. Of course, then we are having the guitar doing what is called palm muting, which this one I do want to explain, right? So if we bring a guitar, an image of a guitar. Let me grab this one over here. The way palm muting works is that you can see how the guitar has, let me zoom in a little bit more. The guitar has, you know, the upper bridge, lower bridge. Usually this part is where you strum your strings from. However, there is something called palm muting. Palm muting, so... palm muting. Palm muting means that you have your guitar pick and you're grabbing that, and then you take the palm of your hand and you press it against this bit over here that is right where the strings start on the bridge. You press it down and you continue strumming, and it mutes the strings just partially, that it gives them that very nice crunch that you can get. Now, in addition to that, you can then play open string, which just means you're playing whatever string is being played, and you play those palm muted. You play without the palm muting, regular picking, the power chords, and you get this sound that the guitar is doing. So what the guitar is also doing is that whenever it's not palm muting, it's playing at the same rhythm as the bass drum. That is a really, really cool thing. And then we go off the ramp. Off the ramp, of course, being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial. Of course, by that I mean there's no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can a specific type of transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats, as it was over here. It can be as long as an entire section, and the purpose of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well, which is what happened. And copy the image on Paint and draw your ideas there. Yeah, but I'd rather just put the mouse here. I'd rather just put the mouse, just to show you the mouse. Because this one at least is one of the simpler ones. This one is one of the simpler concepts when it comes to guitars. So, let's see where this goes. So we change the drums around over here. Ooh, another really cool detail is that we also have another synth that is playing those chords over there, and those are being sidechained to where the drums are playing. Sidechaining is basically the drums, usually it's the drums interrupting whatever sound is going on, right? So whenever the drums hit, whatever is being sidechained gets their volume turned down and then back up. I've noticed two types of sidechaining, one of them being the volume knob being turned down and then back up, and the other one being kind of more like a kill switch, where it's more binary, like volume off and then back up. So, I like it. Let's see where it goes. Little break over there. Okay. Right now, these lyrics are a little bit more melodic. I am not entirely... It's a little bit more melodic, but it doesn't seem quite as climactic. So I am going to say this was the pre-chorus. Pre-chorus, of course, being the middle ground between a verse and a chorus. As the name suggests, it leads to the chorus. Let me go back a couple of seconds. Let's see where it goes. I can fix you? No. I did it myself. Let's see where it goes. Back a couple of seconds. Let's see where it goes. Okay, we have a break and... and we drop the beat. We don't do the chorus, we do a dropping of the beat instead. So we do a beat drop, which... yeah, it it works kind of like an instrumental break. The dynamic here is really, really cool because we're continuing that energy, we're pushing that energy, and of course, dropping the beat is very much climactic, and it gives that, gives that satisfying sense that a chorus would, just without it. Risky move, but it's a dropping of the beat, so it's fun. Let's see where it goes. We put the guitar there, and... Huh. Okay, so we have the dropping of the beat, and the dropping of the beat is not the break, it's the chorus. Structurally speaking, we replace the chorus with a dropping of the beat, and then we go straight to verse number 2. Going against conventions like this is very risky, but Living Tombstone pulled it off very smoothly. Very smoothly, because you need to be able to match the energy. You need to be able to match that energy, because when you're making music, you need that undulation, those undulations. You need to allow your music to breathe, which means inhale, exhale, tension, release, that kind of thing. And you need that climactic moment of the chorus to have that release. And the way that this first beat drop worked filled that condition. Like, it completely substituted. Is it truly a beat drop? It's not. It's more like it's a beat drop / a break. But it's too climactic to be a simple break. It's not whoopy enough to be a beat drop. So I would say it's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere, I'm leaning towards a beat drop, considering that we had that brief moment of hook and everything. So structurally, it fits the structure of a beat drop. It fits the structure of a break, and it replaces the chorus. Like, that part there is whoop whoop. No, like, it's just a dubstep whoop whoop of a bass. Like, whenever you have a dropping of the beat in regular dubstep, you have a bass that goes whoop whoop. And that's it. That's how I call it. Yeah. To me, it is something the whole song leads to, but it wasn't really close. Because by that definition, a good chunk of tracks that we've heard that have had very clear drops do not have beats. And this over here, verse and pre-chorus lead to whichever, like, the pre-chorus leads. It's a leading, it's a transitionary structure that leads to the next part. So by your own logic as well, this beat drop would meet that criteria, because everything that would lead the build-up towards a beat drop fills that same purpose structurally to a pre-chorus. It's the same logic. This wasn't as wild as some beat drops could be. It wasn't a nasty beat drop, but it did drop the beat. It did introduce unrelated material in terms of a musical break, which is something you can only really do in beat drops in this kind of music. So yeah, let's just see where it goes. So now yeah, we have that little change in rhythm up the ramp. Pre-chorus number 2. Nice. And it's not a pre-chorus. Lyric-wise, that's the chorus. Lyrics-wise, that's the chorus, because, she said the thing. Let me figure this out. Because if it's then verse, chorus, immediately chorus, the melody is not as climactic as it could be. The melody is nowhere near as climactic as it could be. This second time, we had a variation on the pre-chorus, so I guess I could just qualify this as chorus number 1. There we go. Or I guess chorus 1 over here, so this is technically chorus number 2. And it gives us this structure over here. And right now, of course, the main difference between this pre-chorus and chorus number 2 would be octave displacement. I think that would be it. So octave displacement, right? Octave displacement. Displacement is when you take a melody and you displace which octave. Different notes there can happen. So, as mentioned before, you can have a scale and you can have melodies. Let's say, for example, we have this very simple C, D, E. Let's say that is our melody. Octave displacement means we are still going to play C, D, and E. We're just going to change which octave one of them might happen. So, for example, we could have C, D, E like this. It's still C, D, E. Or over here, C, D, E. We can have them in different ways. And right now, we only had an octave displacement, very simple type of octave displacement. For example, if we were to do this, right? We were to do that first time around, which is C, D, E, and then G. And then we displace the final note. And that is it. It's a relatively simple term. It's a simple concept, but it's being employed really well over here. Structurally, right now, we should expect another drop or a solo. Let's see where this... Who made quote 256? Because that one needs to be deleted. Let's see where this goes. And extend. No, here's the chorus. Here's the chorus. Okay, so this would be more of a post-chorus. This could be a post-chorus, like the part where it's catchy. It's very rare to have songs with the oohs and ahs and whoa-oh-ohs, but they managed to put it here. So I would say this part. So I'm gonna put these two together, and I'm gonna say. Technically, this could be this is the chorus. This is the climactic part. This is the climactic part. It just doesn't have the lyrics for it. So let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. And there we go. We get a brief mode of the ramp, and what is quote 256 is fake, is what it is, and it goes against the rules of the quote book because I never said that. So. Yeah, it needs to be removed, and whoever made it has to get their quoting permissions removed. Anyway, let's see where this goes. Oh, accidentally put it on full screen. It's really cool, like very smooth. I like it that we have that brief moment of the bass just going off the ramp, and we are. Do we have a log? No, we don't. We don't have a log for it. So yeah, we now have this very extended, very slow. It's a very big change of pace. The chords are pretty much the same as before. We're just playing them for longer, engaging in elongation. Elongation is just slowing something down. Right now, we're playing pretty much the same as we've been playing before, just slower. And it's so nice. Let's see where it goes. Yes, you did, Nip, but yeah. Nice. Alright, we gotta. So I'm gonna say that was a post-chorus. Now we are in verse 3. That's the bridge. Okay, so we reached now a bridge. That's pretty early for it to be a bridge, but we reach a bridge, which usually a bridge is a contrast of everything else that takes down the energy. It brings down the energy so that when you go back up to that chorus, the distance covered is relatively more. So yeah, let's see where it goes. We bring back the music box.
Happy, but you're dead inside just like me. Now we're here at a standstill. I wonder if you feel the kind of pain that rips your insides out. That's something I know all about.
Verse 3.
We have a lot more in common than you would become with. It's like when
Now it's verse 3.
we both don't know what we can do.
Nice.
Is it because it can be hurt? Many mistakes make me hurt. I can't fix you.
Okay, yeah, no, this is 100% the chorus. Every time I said it was a pre-chorus, it's a chorus. So we had the chorus number 1. The beat was a post-chorus. It was a post-chorus number 1, so a beat drop / break. Then we have chorus number 2. It's just that the melody being sung over here, the melody being sung in the post-chorus. So we had the chorus number 2. This one ended up being the same. Post-chorus number 2, bridge, verse 3, chorus number 3. The melody here is not as climactic as it could be. So that threw me off because I thought it was going to be a pre-chorus because it feels like it leads onto something else. So in that sense, this is a little bit, again, going against convention, because your chorus is supposed to be your climactic part, because the guitars are climactic, the drums are climactic. However, the easy fix over here would have been for the vocalist to sing this 1 octave higher, or have part of it sung an octave higher. Like whenever I Can't Fix You, sung an octave higher, and there you go. Because it can really, really change. Let's say we have this melody, right? So let's say we have that melody. And yes, over here, down here, not that big a deal. It's still a nice melody, but if we were to take that second half and do it an octave higher, it already brings up the energy just by virtue of taking that up an octave. So that would be a criticism that I have. The chorus doesn't feel like a chorus. It doesn't feel climactic. However, I can see why they would treat this, they would build this chorus kind of like a pre-chorus and lead into the post-chorus and have that be the climax. Again, it goes very much against convention, but they're making it work. So let's see where it goes. Yep, there we go. Yep, there we go. So now we had it a little bit higher, and now we're repeating it more. Lower octave. Now we're treating it like a chorus. So yeah, now we are engaging in the best tactic that you have when it comes to chorus and most of music, which is simple repetition. Repeating something is not inherently a bad thing, especially if it comes to a chorus. Singing your chorus two times in a row is not a bad thing inherently. So the last several ones, the first one only repeated once, the second one repeated twice, this one seems to be repeating 4 times, so it seems like we're doubling each time. Let's hope the next one isn't 8, because that might be a little bit excessive, but let's see where it goes. Now it feels like a chorus, like it feels more climactic than the other 2 times. And now we have another beat drop, another break, the post-chorus, number 3. Ooh, very nice. And now we are getting that whoop-whoopness that we've come to know and love from dubstep. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see where it goes. I guess it's gonna be the outro as well. How are you gonna end? Oh, We hold the note. Okay, we have the drop, one last note, and it ends. There's 20 more seconds of silence. It seems like there might have been something there in the mix. And it ends. There you go. So we have the drop, and the drop itself being the post-chorus number 3 and also an outro. And there you have it. That was really cool. That was really cool. Like, my only criticism was that the chorus itself wasn't as climactic as it probably should have been. But if you treat that chorus as a pre-chorus and the real structural chorus is that beat drop, those post-choruses, very unconventional, but it absolutely worked. Absolutely worked. So there you go. That was I Can't Fix You, featuring Crusher P by The Living Tombstone, featured in Geometry Dash, as my understanding, also related to Five Nights at Freddy's. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this in the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, which, again, thank you for 7,000. I was not expecting to make it this far this fast, okay? If we somehow hit 10,000 before Christmas, I will take, on top of the fan fiction, audiobook, I will play a single video game of the choice of the community live on stream, whatever y'all want, as long as it's within terms of service, right? And we have a member who offered to do a Discord Nitro giveaway. We might do other types of giveaways, that kind of stuff. We'll celebrate far and wide, right? This has to be achieved via legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no botting, no buying followers, no alt accounting, no rat behaviors like that. Go share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, go share the videos with everybody. Use the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we have a group on the Discord that does. Link down below. Go coordinate with them. And yes, artists, The Living Tombstone or anybody else on YouTube, I want to collaborate. If you want any of my musical skills, whether it is my electric guitars, my Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old or regular singing, or anything where you want help figuring out something for your composition or voice acting or whatever it is, just reach out, let me know, and we will make it happen. We'll make it work. If you're in the audience and you know any artists that could benefit, let them know. Please do not harass anyone. Please do not spam anyone. Be cool about things. Don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you are not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Both are linked down below. So if you live in Chitre and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch. Both are linked down below, and it's going to show the schedule in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Bastard. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. They get recorded live on stream, and then the recordings go there. Link down below, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Bastard. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. I Can't Fix You, Crusher P. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. That was fun. That was fun. But yeah, let's move on.